Hello, hello. Hello. So right now on gold, as we can see, yesterday price created this trend line and broke this trend line, and it's rejecting like right now. This is the previous candle which closed over here, and the second candle is going to the downside. So we can see price have induced this lows, but in inducement we want price to break the structure. It haven't broke the previous structure. We go to 1 minute. So this becomes a trend line liquidity over here. This is gold chart on 10 minutes. Let's check US 30. Yesterday, price tap from this area. In news, it swept out all these lows, creating a inducement, higher time frame inducement. And again, break of structure here. You can see price again swept all this liquidity, sweeping this high. So it should continue to the downside. Break of structure again. Structure. So this is a break of structure again. This is a mitigation. This is a structural mitigation. And again, we can see this is the liquidity sweep. So we need to find a new order block in continuation to the downside over here. But right now, this candle should break the previous low, and then we can look for a sell side trade. Right now, there is no setup. Price have already tapped this area. If price taps this order block, I will look for a sell side entry. Stop loss above this high. Targeting this lows. So there's 1:5. If price continues to downside, we can trail the stop loss till the next low. We want price to close below this area. Like for example, if price comes and taps the second candle, it should engulf the previous candle. Hello, hello. Please hit the like button if you haven't liked. We want price to close below this area. It should go below this low. नहीं 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 किया भाई कल. We want price to close below this area. Then we'll look for a sell side entry. Otherwise, this is a new inducement and price can tap and then it will continue. We have another setup here. It can also tap this order block and then it can continue. But if this breaks, then probably we'll look for a buy side setup in this area. Okay, now I think we should look for buy side setup. If you haven't hit the like button, please like it. We have a buy side setup on US 30, just like yesterday. I called out this on the live. Price whipped the liquidity, broke the structure. We have this breakup block. Next I was target. Right now we have same scenario. So this is a liquidity sweep. Price broke the structure. 5 minutes we can see there is this order block. This is order block. This is the liquidity sweep. We want price to create more liquidity to the upside, like here. Then we can look. Then we look for a buy side entry. Here, the next high will be a target. This next high will be our target. 1:3. And another POI, which can equal, and this is another POI which we can use for our entry. Same thing. Price swept the liquidity, broke the structure, created more liquidity. We have this trend line liquidity equal lows. We can use this for our entry. Okay, so this zone is failed. We look for a, now this has become our breaker block and our block setup, where we look for another tap on this area to take trade to the buy side. Hello, hello. Thank you, bro. On USD, we have like, if you go to daily time frame, we can see price broke the previous structure like this one. Again, we have this breakout structure. It's still continuing to the downside, creating this wick. Again, we can look for continuation trades to the downside. If you go to 30 minutes, then we have this inducement and a breakout structure. So we can mark this as a POI. We can use this POI when price sweeps this trend line liquidity. Once price comes here, we can look for a change of pattern and then target these lows. Right now, price can react from this order block. It has been already mitigated, but it can sweep this liquidity, and if this breaks, then we can look for an internal structure like upside trades to this POI. Same thing on AUD USD. Breakout structure, we have this POI to the upside here, and price is still continuing to downside. And we have another order block which is here, where we can expect price to move from here to the next high. Hello, sir. I'm learning from you. Watch the videos from the start. Hello, Kidan. Because you understand the logic behind, like I explain logic behind every trade, everything. Because in the beginning, when I started learning SMC, I used to struggle with that only. Like, why is price in going in certain direction and why it's taking liquidity and why liquidity sweep are happening. So on USD CAD, we have 2 point of interest. First is this one, where if you go to lower time frame, this liquidity sweep has been already mitigated. Again, breakout structure, again breakout structure. Now we have this nice imbalance, and price is now coming to the downside because there was this unmitigated order block. Price tapped this area. Now, what can happen is it will sweep this liquidity. It can tap this order block, but if price does not tap this order block and only taps this high and continues to the upside, so this will be our new breaker block here. We'll look for another tap to the upside. The same thing has happened on US 30 where I was looking for a sell side trade. So this structure has been already mitigated. The next high, price tap this next high, it's continuing downside, but I don't think so it will. Here we want price to create a liquidity sweep. Price have not swept any liquidity. It's still continuing higher. So let's wait here. I've watched a lot of videos regarding SMC, but grasping them is difficult, especially what time frame to apply. There is no such thing as time frame. Like, for example, I use time frame as a zoom tool. Like, for example, in this case, we have this order block. Okay, I will only go to lower time frame if I want, like, if there is something. For example, here I have this higher time frame imbalance, and just by looking at 30 minutes, we can see this is the candle where there is liquidity sweep, because this candle took out the previous low. So I'll zoom till I find that candle which sweeps out liquidity. For example, in this case, this is the candle which broke the structure. So I know that automatically this is the candle which took out the liquidity. And here also, this is the candle which took out the liquidity. So I don't have to go below this area. Because the data, when the data comes to trading view, it does not come in time frame. It's just moment. Okay. You have to mark the actual moment, not the time frame. For example, if I'm marking 5-minute order block, so 5-minute order block is something which took out liquidity. For example, here this is on 30 seconds. This low was broken by this whole moment, and this whole moment, like this set of candles on 1 minute. So this is 5 candles will be a 5-minute order block. Any trade to in Ethereum? So on Ethereum, yesterday price swept this lows. We have this POI. This is unmitigated. Here, price broke the structure, like this structure, this candle, which swept out the liquidity. If you go to 30 minutes, we can see there is this sort of block. Here, we are not using this breaker block because there is no liquidity sweep in this area. Price in 3 candles broke the structure. Like, it never gave any respect to this order block. So we'll skip this area and we'll focus on this area. This. So in 5 minutes. So I'm not focusing on this order block. I'm focusing on this moment. This moment is more important than this area. So I'll mark this whole move. Stop loss below this low. The next will be a target 1, 2, 3. Yesterday I gave this BTC order block. Price tab this area. I think after the news, price tab this area. So this candle broke the structure, created new high. This is the trend line liquidity, and in this area we don't have any candle which is respecting this sort of block. Like now it's a breaker block, but still price is not respecting this area. So we'll use this area. But right now we are looking for buy side setup. So this is the area where we look for buy side setup. But what price right now? What price is doing is it sweep the liquidity from this low, and price wants to go to the upside, like to the high side, creating a new higher high. Because the structure was broken by this week, it's just a manipulation. So we'll wait for price to break this new high. Then only we'll look for a retest and buy side entry. Right now, price will just consolidate. Hello, take icon. I'm new to your channel. Hello, hello. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. What is in a chart? Anthena coin. Okay. No, no, wait. We want price to engulf, then only we look for entry. We can say this price is still continuing downside. We want price to break the previous high. Thoughts on NQ and R standard. Okay, wait. So we want price to break the previous high. See, we can see price is not breaking the previous high. On 1 minute also it works, but right now I don't think this is now a good entry. If price creates structure and then breaks, then we look for a buy side. Whenever price comes here order block, it should come slowly and create structures. For example, it should create a structure, a fake structure, and then price sweeps the fake structure, and then it goes to upside. For example, yesterday on the live, this is the entry which I shared. Price came here. We don't have any structure, but then price created new structure, and you could have entered over here. Same thing. Now we will look for another entry. Now we look for entry below this area. Just because there is order block, we don't have to enter everywhere, right? NAS 100, right now, we have this order block where you can look for a buy side setup because this is a breaker block which swept out the liquidity. We swept out this previous liquidity and mitigated this order block. So it should, and we also have this fake low which has been created over here. So price will sweep this area, and if this gives a structure, then we look for buy side setup. Same thing on US 30. Please hit the like button. Here on Euro, as I said, price will react from this order block again. but we'll look for a sell side setup instead of buying because we don't know when price can sweep this liquidity and it should continue higher, like a liquid sweep. If price wants to go to the upside, it will sweep the liquidity and then it will continue internal structure to react from this order block. GJ is that area where there is a 4-hour POI. Let's see if we have any buy side setup. Here we have this buy side setup on GJ. Price broke the structure. Same setup. Equal lows were swept. This is the order block. We want price to create some kind of liquidity, just like on USD CAD. Stop loss below this area because we have this breaker block and this setup. So we can use this whole thing as an entry and we'll target the next high. The 1:3. Price should create trend line liquidity first and then this setup will be valid. Let's see. I don't think so it will happen today. Now it's failing. Like I was looking for sell side on US 30 and now it's giving a sell side setup. Hello, hello. Can you check BTC? I have taken short from 118600. Yes, it can go to the downside from here. One 18600. Yeah, it's good one. I think on gold, what price can do is we have this trend line liquidity and there is imbalance at this area here. It can tap this area. If you go to 50 minutes, we can see there is a clear imbalance in price. It can tap and then it can continue to the upside. I think so. Let's see. इथेरियम पर ले सकते हो. तुरंत एंटर नहीं करना है, हमें इंगल्फिंग का वेट करना है, तब जाके एंटर करना है. ठीक है. राइट नाउ we could have lost 2 trades, but just by waiting for a engulfing, we avoided 2 losses. There is also another order block on Ethereum here. This one. Also forming a Quasimodo pattern. If this fails, then we can look for another entry over here. So divide your risk. If if you haven't like the video. So I'm closing this live over here. Let's see tomorrow. On Ethereum, we can look for buy side setup once price breaks this previous high. This one. And divide your risk because we have another order block below this area. There is same setup on Sol USDT. We can see this is the order block. We can see price have created this fake low. A lot of people would have entered over here. Then price sweeps their liquidity and then it continues. You can also use this entry. There's liquid sweep, new high. This is the wick which is supporting the structure. See you tomorrow. Thank you.